Hi, I'm Lisa Hayden with Channel 6 Central Kentucky TV, community focus on Washington County. And today we are delighted to have with us Goode of Washington County and Jack of all trades.
Master of none. Master of none.
And the new executive director of Central Kentucky Community Action. So congratulations on that,
Thank you.
Hal.
Thank you very much.
And we're happy about that. I know that Lynn Roby, the last director, has retired. And so you've just stepped in to fill some big shoes there.
She did an awesome job there. She really worked hard. She was in basically the social services field for over close to 30 years.
Yeah.
And just did an awesome job in helping run our organization. And yeah, I'm proud to walk into her shoes, even though they will be tough ones to fill.
Well, how I don't know. Of course, our judge executive, I would be a member of that board because all the counties that Central Community Action that consists of what, 8 counties?
It follows the Lincoln Trail, yeah. It follows the Lincoln Trail counties, and you know that's the easiest way to look at it because our area development district works hand in hand with not only the counties, but naturally with you being on the city council with the cities and groups like ours that work with those who are less fortunate.
Yeah. And you, so having been a magistrate all these years and having been the economic development director and in numerous economic development capacities, you certainly are aware of all that what they do with community action.
Yeah, and I think more and more what we're trying to do, Lisa, is inform the public, and that's why we're appreciative to have a venue like TV6 to be able to come in to talk about what we do. Because a lot of folks say, well, you know, you're in the business of giving away fish. Well, we're in the business of giving away the talent to teach people how to fish, to take care of themselves. So that's what we want to do, and we are a group that works with those that are within poverty, and we work with them to put them in a position where they can get themselves out of that poverty piece, out of where they are. I mean, there's no one that wants to be in poverty. I mean, that's just not going to be something that's out there. Nobody wants to be there. So how can we stand by them when they're in a situation of poverty, and then also we're there to stand by them when they get out of that. And that's the things that we want to put into place. And yes, we do programs like weatherization, which is based more off of energy than anything. We want to make sure that that energy efficient piece is within homes. So you could be underemployed and qualify for those type of programs. We also do senior citizens programs. I had the chance to go to senior citizens today and spend time with them. We do Head Start programs. So we work with our young. We work with our elderly. We want to make sure that they are taken care of, just like our seniors today that were able to enjoy a meal and able to enjoy that camaraderie they have together. That may be the only time they have a really good meal and have that camaraderie together all day. They may see no one else. We don't think about those pieces, and that's what we do at Community Action. You know, we think about that. Just like our youth, you know, our Head Start, that need that, one thing we're implementing within our Head Start group is soft skills. It's so important for our young kids to be able to have those soft skills, to be able to shake someone's hand, to be able to look someone in the eye, to be able to show up on time. You know, that leads to careers. That leads to job creation. And we want to make sure we can help pull those folks out of those situations to put them in a good career and a good job. I mean, we do GED. We will pay for a GED to get that done. We had someone coming the other day that got a job at one of our manufacturers but had to have steel-toed boots. Very expensive. Could not afford them, but ready to go to work. We have programs that can assist to help buy those boots so he could go to work. We do transportation. We do transportation of our seniors. We do health care transportation. But we also, we had transportation. We had an individual that was walking from Springfield to Lebanon to work. And we were able to implement a program, so we're always thinking outside the box, that gave this gentleman a ride because he had to spend $1,000 to get his car fixed and he didn't have $1,000. It wouldn't matter. It could have been $1 million. He didn't have it, so he was unable to get to work. So we were able to provide that transportation for $6 per drive. We'd take him over, then we'd go back and pick him up. Within, a month, he's able to save the money, get his car fixed, and now he's back to transportation. But the main thing is he's still working. Those are the things we want to continue to implement with community action. How do we make that work? And also honor, our young kids that are in Head Start, and honor our senior citizens for what they've been able to do, because they deserve it so much.
Yeah. Well, I really like that, Hal, because as people sometimes think they're just giveaway programs. Well, first of all, I knew I'd be able to interject a few things on this.
Yeah.
But, first of all, the heating program, for example, heating
weatherizations,
assistance.
yeah.
That's, it's not like you can just get heating assistance all winter long. You get maybe one time, and then in an emergency situation, you might get another. Everybody knows how much heating bills have gone up, and when you live in a drafty old house and you have a landlord that, doesn't have the financial ability, or say you even own your own home, either way, there's no financial ability. And then weatherization can step in and maybe provide some insulation in the home, or some, so those are great programs.
Well, and maybe, your viewers have heard of programs like the weatherization or LIHEAP when we talk about that, but Lisa, you're right, because we're working with our electrical co-ops, groups like KU and LG&E, groups like East Kentucky Power. Those are the groups that are out there, and they're about energy efficiency. So if you have someone who is living in that drafty house that Lisa's talking about, if you can come in and make it more energy efficient, then who's going to save? It's going to be people. It's going to be anybody. If you're going to be able to save from that consumption of that energy.
Yeah.
So we are conserving, and it's more about energy efficiency. That's why if you hear programs like weatherization and LIHEAP, and you think I'm in a middle income situation, well, they're based on energy efficiency. Apply for those programs. Make sure that these are programs. You may think, oh, it's only for someone in a situation where they're going through with dealing with poverty. We have a lot of programs like that, but we have other programs just like weatherization. It's energy efficiency. Even some transportation program, Lisa, we have a program called Inner City. And that Inner City program is a grant from Greyhound. What that means is that we can have one of our transportation vans take you to Elizabethtown or to Lexington, to the Greyhound bus station, or to Lexington or Louisville, Louisville to Louisville International Airport, Lexington to the Bluegrass Airport for $10 per ride. So if you're going to stay 4 days, we'll take you up. We'll come back and get you. So for $20, you could have a round trip from Springfield to Louisville, and you wouldn't have to pay for the parking or anything. That's all based on a rural area, because when they started pulling up the train tracks and there used to be less ways for people to get around all over the country, Greyhound and others had put funding, and we were able to apply for it and get that funding, so it helps us subsidize where we can do the rides for just $10.
Yeah.
So that is something for anybody. Tim Trottier, who's CEO at Springview Hospital, he loves the program. He can, you can park in our parking lot. It takes you right down, lets you right out, picks you up when you come back. We want to encourage anybody that's going to be flying, or if you're going to be taking a bus, make sure to call us. We can definitely help you and be able to provide any of those services just like that in our city. And that's 270-692-2136.
Well, yes, I had forgotten about that program.
That's a great program.
Does it go to Lexington too, Lexington Airport?
You can. It goes to the and what's the Multibus?
I don't know why.
Well, Megabus. It goes to the Megabus. They have that Megabus now. They'll take you to Chicago and some other. It'll take you to Lexington to pick it up. So, but you think in some parts of rural Kentucky, especially in our area, if you don't have that means of transportation to get to Louisville or Lexington for a flight or a bus, $10 is a pretty good deal for us to be able to do it. But ultimately, it does help keep the families, some of the families that are on really tight budgets, keep them also in a situation where they're able to either visit or get back and forth for work reasons, but it's a great transportation piece.
Yeah.
And it really highlights our transportation group that we cover, because our transportation, you'll see our CATS vans. We do a lot in Washington County, but our main counties we cover are LaRue and Marion. We do Breckenridge, and we do Grayson, and we do Nelson County. So those are counties that we do most of our traveling within, as far as taking someone to a doctor's visit. We also take those to dialysis treatment. And we're still one of the few in Kentucky. There are still some for veterans. We'll transport a veteran for free, so we still do that.
How is it that you qualify to for a doctor's appointment if you know if someone needs a ride?
Now this would if you're in Marion County, you would call our number, but we do not have the Washington County contract. But we do work with the Frankfurt group, which I call Bluegrass, and they do have Washington County. So what they'll do is they'll subcontract with us, which is a natural, because from Frankfurt to Springfield and from Lebanon to Springfield, just look at the mileage.
Yeah.
So we've got a great partnership. So we do a lot of their rides over here. So qualifying for that ride, I mean, you could, Lisa, a senior citizen could take it. I went to the Senior Citizen Center today, and they had 2 people that came down there that we go pick up. And we pick up for that, and some of that can be through, they go doctors, through Medicaid. Others, it's just $6 a ride. We can take them for that and to give them that transportation. So it's just the transportation that especially our seniors, really rely on.
Yeah. So like people here, I know sometimes people that go to senior citizens for lunch, which is offered 5 days a week.
That's correct.
Monday
That's
through
correct.
Friday, and I think lunch is served at 11:30 or 12.
It's really closer to 12. I was
Okay.
there today. I encourage any of your viewers to go.
Yeah.
It's a delicious lunch. Again, as I said earlier, for our seniors and their visitors, it is we use a dietitian that'll come in and set the meals and set our menus. So it's a nutritious meal.
Right.
So we know that our seniors that are attending have 1 nutritious meal per day.
Yeah.
We know that. Now, others are going to get more, but there are some that may be the only one. So we really do make that real push to make sure that that meal is there, that camaraderie is there that they're involved with, and that's important.
And so they just have to show up. They don't have to call and say they're coming, or
That's right.
And if they need a ride, they could just call Community Action, or
we
call
can help.
the senior-
We can help them set up the rides through Bluegrass if they needed to. So again, they could contact us or contact Thelma Thompson down at the Senior Citizen Center. She's our local
What's the
coordinator.
number down there?
I'm not for
You're
sure,
not
but
sure?
you can always call us at 270-692-2136, and
Okay.
we can channel you into any of our locations that we have.
Okay, because I think that that's a really a good program for our seniors, and I'm always encouraging that, for people to attend
Oh,
that.
absolutely.
And it's like you say, and then they stay after lunch, and some of them play cards or board games.
Bingo.
And bingo, yeah.
Bingo size.
Yeah.
They play bingo size. I never knew what bingo size is. Gary, do you know what bingo size is?
No.
It's where you win, and after you win, you have to do kind of a little exercise, like a big rubber band, or you stand up. It's really cool. I mean, if you think about it, because it does kind of. I need the bingo size at night myself sometimes after I eat. I mean, it's just really cool.
Yeah.
So they do some exercises along with it, because when I
Yeah.
first started, I said, "What the heck's bingo size?" But it's really and our seniors, I'm gonna tell you.
And your mother, she likes to go.
Oh,
and
she's a bingo sizer. She likes to win. That's what she likes to do.
Yeah.
But they are so enjoyable to be around, and if you want to go down, the meals are $2, and and again, that is on a voluntary basis. We do not charge, but we do have that $2 there. If you can pay, if you can't, come and eat anyway. We want to make sure that they get that. So that's really worked out well for us. And I really think that's a nice group down there. And then we have our other counties. We do serve the entire Lincoln Trail area through some of our senior programs. Like Nelson County, we do a lot of our cooking through that facility. It's a great facility there.
And don't you still do the lunches for inbound? I mean, homebound.
We do not at our service. We do not do that, but we still do. No,
okay.
we don't do that. And you're seeing, we were talking earlier. You're seeing a lot of those homebound meals starting to be cut by different programs, and that's unfortunate, because because there's a lot of people that count on that. What we've been doing more and more is that match with the Senior Citizen Center, and we come in and we'll have that meal where they come in and get the meal.
Yeah.
And then also what we do is, especially in Washington County, but in Marion County, where we provide the transportation, we make sure some of those that are unable to, that we can get the transportation. We have found, and I think that's something that my predecessor Lynn Roby had even talked more about, that camaraderie is so much more for our seniors to be together.
Right.
Whether it's bingo or whether it's talking about how much rain we had yesterday. It's just great to be around people.
Yeah.
And it's good to be around people.
Yeah.
And that's why our seniors love visitors. I mean, please, if one of your viewers wants to go, just go down there.
Mm-hmm.
They would love to have you, just to have a chance to talk about anything. We talked about the football game Friday night. One of the ladies there, her grandson plays, and it's just really enjoyable, and you would get a whole lot from it.
Yeah, and I don't know what your age is. There a minimum age that? No, not really.
No, I mean,
yeah.
It's senior citizens. Hey, listen, I'm 55 and I'm AARP now, so what the heck?
That's right. So you could go,
you
right?
could go. You could
okay,
you
well,
could go.
yeah.
I mean, you could go.
Yeah.
Be a participant in that. But
Yeah.
we don't really have an age when
Uh-huh.
it's set, and it's kind of a retirement.
Yeah. Yeah.
You'll see some that will retire and go
Oh,
down
yeah.
there, but it's. We welcome, so if someone needs to come in, they'll welcome them down there.
Yeah, yeah. Well, now, so how, of course, this is new, this position to you, even though I'm sure, as you said, there were a lot of things that you were familiar with. So, and it sounds like, now your last position was over in Boyle County with the economic development. What was that? What was your title there?
Yeah, I was Vice President and COO for operations in economic development for the Danville-Boyle County Economic Development Partnership.
Yeah, yeah. And then before that, you were with the state.
Yeah, I worked for the Kentucky Association for Economic Development.
Yeah.
And, my background in economic development goes back about 20, 25 years, 28 years, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
But, my first couple of weeks after I had a staff meeting with my group, I said, here at Community Action, we're economic developers.
Yeah.
I mean, every day, we are out there every day talking about programs like workforce development. I mean, things that I've talked about already here. Giving someone a ride to work. We're going to start implementing that more and more just to really help some of our manufacturers, because sometimes you may not get your first paycheck for 3 weeks. And if you have an obstacle of getting you to work or to repair a vehicle, whatever that may be, we may be able to fill a gap. And if we can do that, that's what we want to do. All the way down to someone just getting the necessities like a GED.
Yeah.
We can take care of that. We're working real close with Terry Thomas in the Career Center. I've had her to one of my staff meetings. We're working with Superintendent Laura Slosher over at Marion County. We want to continue to be plugged in to help ultimately put someone back on their feet.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you never know what someone goes through till you walk through your shoes. That's what my dad always told me. You got to walk in their shoes.
Right.
Walk a mile in somebody else's shoes is what my dad always said.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, if we can work there to help put someone in a better position, we're going to stand by them.
Yeah.
And then if they're able to become successful, to stand on their own, well, guess what? We're still going to stand by them.
Yeah.
Just because that's the type of agency we are, and I think that's what we want to be able to do, is stand by those folks and make sure that we're standing with them in any of the challenges that they have.
Yeah. And that's really good. I really like that whole concept, Hal. I think that's might be, I know that Community Action has had programs like that in the past, but it sounds like the focus is more on that, and I like that. And but I think people need to understand too that no matter if you've got a large family and 3 or 4 children and you're working at the factory, you might not be able to afford to fix your car for just because you need a little bit of help doesn't mean you're some kind of lazy bum or something. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Those are needs, and you might need those several kinds of things, assistance like that throughout your life,
Well,
simply because not everybody's a millionaire.
well, let me give you just another example. I mean, you know, even bad things happen to good people as far as when you go through it. We do the commodities, and a lot of folks, you know, will look at that. And so I went to one of our commodities drives, and I ran into some folks that I knew, and I was chatting with them, and I noticed in the back seat they had their 3 grandkids, and they said, yeah, we are raising our grandkids right now. Their father has had some problems, and he is being housed in the local jail and is going to be there for a while. And this food we have is not only helping us, but it's helping to take care of these kids. That's not an unusual situation to see grandparents raising their kids' kids. I mean, my mom and dad did it for, you know, for my brother to help get him back on his feet. So it wasn't unusual even 20 years ago, but you see it more prevalent. So at the end of the day, it's programs like that that help that family, that help those people. It's programs like the backpack program we're involved with that are able to get, you know, just a backpack full of supplies for a young kid to take home on the weekend. Those are the type of programs that are out there. And you talk about the percentage of someone that's laying on the bench. Well, that percentage is not the percentage, a large percentage of what you would think. I mean, but we want to narrow that percentage down because we want everybody that can to make sure they can be able to be employed. And from my economic development background, I know we're under 4% unemployment within this central Kentucky area. So that's not a lot. But how many are we underemployed?
Yeah.
If someone were to come in and they're underemployed and still be able to apply for programs we do and be able to be accepted.
Yeah.
So the underemployed need this as well, which is a much larger percentage out there than 4%.
And when you say
that.
the underemployed, you mean persons that aren't making a livable wage.
That's correct. People who are working and not making a wage to be able to afford to to, you know, afford their next meal. Maybe because they're like this other couple I was talking about, raising their grandkids.
Yeah.
So again, we are an organization that we make sure we're accountable for every penny we do. I brought our annual report to share with Lisa. What we like to be able to say to folks is, for any dollar given to us, not only do we try and make it $2, but we stretch it out to make sure that it is used and utilized, and we keep up with every penny where it goes. That's the one thing that we can do, because I think accountability is a big piece of what we do, and I'm a big believer in return on investment, because donations are something that we take. But I've been talking to folks more and more that we are more of an investment. Because if you're investing in your community for your youth and Head Start, if you're investing in your community for your senior citizens, if you're investing in your community to try and help somebody go back to work, I mean, you know, you're not donating, you're investing. And that's where I think our dollars are coming from. And that's what we're trying to do as we make folks know that we help people, but we also change lives. And that's one of the biggest keys that I want to try and implement during my tenure here.
Yeah. Well, that's great, Hal. I'm really glad. So you're going to have to come back on and talk with us more
I was
about
thinking
community
that,
action.
how many times have I been on this show?
Well, you know,
I am like Tom Hanks and Alec Baldwin on Saturday Night Live. I'm going to start the TV6 Lisa Hayden show. I've been on here at least 5 times.
Well,
so who else has been on here that many times?
I don't think anybody has, Hal. And
I'm going to be the chairman of the board.
But you've had so many changes, and now in addition to that, you're leaving and your position as magistrate. You're not running again.
That's correct.
And you know, I mean, I'm going to miss you on that.
Oh, and I will definitely miss serving as magistrate for District Number 3. That has been such a great experience for me. You know, when I think back 25 years ago when I was sworn in and I was out campaigning and talking about the Cardwell Bridge being out, talking about no county water, talking about what are we going to do about economic development. I mean, those are some, what are we going to do about an ambulance service that, you know, we don't have a paramedic. I'm really proud of some of the things we've been able to do. And we worked well with the city. I mean, I thought we had some great relationships that were built. with the city of Springfield when we started. You know, I think about your late husband Mike. I think about people like Dan Kelly, who were real mentors to me that helped lead us through all the political part to be able to get all the things I talked about, you know, really rolling here in this community. So yeah, I'm gonna miss that. So that was really
25 years.
25 years, yeah.
You won't know what to do with yourself.
Yeah, I will. I'll make my 6th appearance on your show. I'll think of someone to come back. I gotta think of a reason to get back on your show.
Well, it's just hard to believe, and you know, and I know you have accomplished a lot, and I'm very
Well, that's
grateful
kind of you to say
for
that.
your service for
Thank you. That's
25
kind of you to
years.
say
And
that.
really, you know, people don't realize we've got all these new magistrates running and things. People don't realize the involvement and the time and energy in those positions. I think they think, you know,
Well,
they don't realize until they get on there. So we're not going to tell them too much.
I represented a great district who I told from the start that we were going to work with the entire county. We were going to work with the city of Springfield, and fortunately the majority of the folks in that area were with me on that, and that's what helped keep us going. And I really enjoyed it. But it was some good things. So.
Well, you might just have to come on again soon, and you can tell us, you know, some of the things that, you know, through your career that you feel like you accomplished, and that and then you can tell us more about community action as well.
Yeah, well, let me leave a couple of things again before we close. Let me leave that phone number, because we've talked about it 2 or 3 times, and you may say, oh, I remember they said weatherization. Oh, they said something about transportation. I can promise you, we're kind of the Wikipedia over there. If you call us, we are going to make sure we're going to give you something. So our number again is 270-692-2136, 2136. Or go to our website, which is ckcac.org. And we keep a lot of information on our website. You can go to that. But definitely, if you need any information, call that number, 270-692-2136, and we'll give you some direction and make sure to put you in the right direction for whatever. Even if it's something we don't do, we'll make sure to get you with the right folks.
Yeah. Well, that's great, Hal. I've learned a lot today myself, so thank you very
much. Thank you. Good to be back again.
Yeah.
I love being on your show, so keep up the good work.
Thanks.